see, well, there was a short period of time in everybody's MPL that we did see a little bit of Cyclops actually show up in the jungle and can snowball out of control, but there is that moment where the momentum stops, right, Mirko?
Yep.
The thing is about the Cyclops pick is that you are very, very safe with it, right? You want to go and either you pick someone off with the star power lockdown, or wait, is that a Brody? Who's going to the jungle? Okay, Paquito. All right, so yeah, talking about the side of EVO's SG, this draft can work. The Cyclops can work, but again, they will not be able to engage. They can't be the ones going for the fights. They need to be the ones waiting in for it.
Well, they do have the Hyla so that they can start the fights.
I feel like it's not going to work though, because the Cyclops won't be able to follow up that fast, especially considering that they have so many divers on the other side, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you have to. The Beatrix isn't going to be able to follow it up.
That's what you think, but truly, it's all about positioning. That's the key point. It's where exactly are they going to fight on the map that's going to really predetermine how these fights are going to go. If they can maximize that value on the Beatrix, I think that's when they have that step up, but it's still a difficult win condition here from either side. But it's time for game number 2. Who's going to be taking away and getting that next point? Is it going to be EVOS SG, or will Todak move on to match point? Let's find out here once again in the land of Dawn.
Oh, all right. So yeah, based on the composition again, I want to try to deep dive into this. I feel like if EVO's SG try to engage whatsoever, sure, they are going to be able to pick off one, but the others are just going to dive to that back line. That is the use of that Angela, right? If you try to go for one person, Angela would just simply hard guard. You use all the resources onto one, and the others, look at this, Esmeralda, Matilda, and Paquito can just dive and destroy that back line.
Yeah, I think it's just all about that disruption. But so far, JPL is getting shoved out of the lane. Potato has to slowly take away this purple. Todak doing a really good job at understanding how this Cyclops jungle works out. They get the Litho Wantro using their priority over the top side of the map.
That is really one thing that they can open up. As good as it is for EVO's SG, we're getting that Cyclops out of their pocket strategies. It's kind of easy to invade. You have the Paquito as well as this Matilda, very strong when it comes to like pushing the tempo in the early stages of the game. So turtle fight for sure. Todak will want to engage against EVO's SG because of this Matilda as well as this Paquito.
But just look at how Todak so far is just controlling this mid lane. Both Yums and Moon are doing a good job so far.
Honestly, if we're taking a look at this, EVO's SG should have a little bit of a lead in that gold side. They need to play around it, but the thing is, with the Cyclops and Rafaela, you're not really a gank-heavy composition. You can't really go for these ganks, nothing to set up with that. So they can only look for fights in the mid.
Speaking of fights, EVO's SG going to be opening things up. First blood by Razor, going over to the home country so far. Potato really using that star power lockdown. As soon as you hit level 4, that's when you want to see. But Chiku guy is going to be running towards JPL's side. Will he get the jab up in time? No, but Adamir switches over to Nibiru. Hoping that Chiku might have gone in, but Chiku recognizing the threat.
This really opens up the turtle, right? Because they were already able to get a kill. JPL forced to use the flicker, and Todak will feel more confident now taking into the turtle fight.
The star power lockdown.
Moon, he's already going to be locked down. Yin Yang overturn, but it does. Oh, there he finds the kill on towards Moon's side, and now the back line is open wide up for Gear to start running them down one by one. Mace now trying to make it out of there, but even Yums, he is caught in a bad position, and Sayla should be able, but he will buy as much time with these love taps as soon as possible. Turtle should also be going into the favor of EVOS SG. A great start for the Singaporean representative.
Oh!
He gets out and wins the 1v1 against Adamir. Very unlucky, just out of range of that auto attack.
Oh, that is beautiful because they got the kill and then they also denied some of the minions away from this Beatrix. And Todak, if they want to win that lane, they are surely in the right track. Unfortunately for EVO's SG, the lack of the Rafaela allowed Todak to go for Potato all the time, and now they're taking the turtle once again.
Yep, they can contest it. It's a 4v4 situation. Sayla has a flank angle, but they're waiting for the right opportunities, and where we go. Glorious Pathway already fallen up with Circling Eagle. Hardguard comes out to protect Chiku, guys, for as long as possible. He goes down, but he got his trade against JPL. Formay so deep into this. Can he take out Sayla? No, not enough time, and now Moon can only pull him with the guiding wind. Yums keeping him alive so far. Oh, they trade 1-0 in favor of EVOS SG.
Yeah, this is the composition. This is what it's built for, going backwards right here. As you can see, whenever Gear and Sayla go forward, it is actually leaving a huge opening for Todak to dive to that back line. But with this, with Gear moving backwards as well, it was so easy for Potato to kite back using the star power lockdown to just be self-sufficient and in the end, get the better picks on the board.
The fights were always close, and they always lose their jungler to the point where it's 4 minutes, and now this is the only time we'll be getting the first turtle. And Todak really taking advantage of this. They fended off EVOS SG and will take the safe turtle.
Yeah, but EVOS SG has been setting up. They gave up turtle to get first move on towards this bottom tier 1. They're going to be taking away as much gold as they can from the shield. Star power lockdown right on top of Momo. It's going to be a killing spree for Sayla with the yin yang overturn. Maybe catch out Moon at the same time, but they find the return kill. Nicely played by Moon.
Look at Chico, guys. This is wonderful. We're going to be invading the purple buff of EVOS SG, and Cyclops badly wants that purple buff. EVOS SG are overstaying here in the bottom lane. Despite them having a push up to the turret here, maybe Todak can take advantage of the other parts of the map.
Yeah, I feel like tunnel visioning coming in for the side of EVOS SG. They go for the bottom side turret, but look at the mid lane. Chunk to half of the turret gold and that top side as well. Remember, in the bottom side, yes, you do get some pressure, you do get some gold, but this is isolated gold for ForMaze, a person that you do not want the gold to go to.
I think the better question is which team actually scales better in this matchup. I can't really predetermine this. Any thoughts on that, Wolf?
It's difficult because you're looking at both Beatrix as well as Brody. They're kind of weird when it comes to their scaling. I would say this is the Beatrix sided when it comes to the scaling, but the other heroes of Todak outscales the other heroes of EVOS SG. I'm not gonna look at this Cyclops hard hitting in the late game as compared to a Paquito or maybe this Esmeralda, right? But then again, I think they're quite in the middle. That being said, it might be equal.
Yep. Speaking of which, Yums is already taking a boatload. Is that going to kill him? Star Power Lockdown takes him out just in time. And now we're seeing the disengage coming in from Adamir after the 25 memories. But Adamir, he wants more. Momo, he finds one. He's trying to get on out of there. But Gear is going to flicker it forward and look in for the next kill as Sayla takes him out just in time. It's going to be ForMaze in the back line now. Does he have enough damage? Falling Star Moon as well. Taking out the jungler Potato. And here comes the Heart Guard as well. Todak wants more. The waves pushing in their favor, and Gear is gonna fall. Puppet on a string connects mid-tier 1, going to fall in favor of Todak, and both teams are not giving each other a single inch.
Fights again and again for both of these sides, but Evin's gonna go. Oh, wait a minute.
He's not done yet, but walks out finally. Moon actually coming in with the circling eagle. He takes him out. He takes him out with the Soul Bloom. I'm surprised it didn't go on any other targets there, but hey, things happen.
Again, this is what I want. I want to, again, just keep on elaborating the fact that EVOS SG, they can't look for these crazy brawls. They need to play it organized. These team fights are going to favor Todak every time it gets messy. It's a very clear front-to-back composition that you need to stay disciplined on, whereas Todak just keep on brawling. Paquito goes for one, the other one goes. They're all going to win with their 1v1s, man.
Adamir went for the high risk, no reward.
Very
play.
high risk.
He flickered it in front of the members of Todak and got extremely punished.
Talking about punishment, ForMaze here already taking the start. No way! He survives with the help of the Heart Guard as well. Chico Eyes going straight in. Double jab combo going straight as Sayla uses his yin yang overturn, falling into the hands of Gear as Moon and Momo here to clean up the backline. Circling Eagle takes out one as Momo looks for the other. JPL will not survive the onslaught.
Triple kill for Momo. In the last game, it was a maniac. This guy has just been on a roll. The team sets the fight up and he just capitalizes and punishes everybody he sees.
You see that Todak already overextended, but EVOS SG, they overextended harder than what Todak did, and they lost so much because of that. They even lost their turret. Surely they got a turret in the mid lane as an exchange for their tier 1. However, Todak still wins the economic battle. In fact, they are leading by 3.8 thousand gold now. And I would assume this will inflate. Todak, they can be aggressive now. They already have the items. And for EVOS SG, they're not ready yet. They don't have anti-heals just for now. And that means that this sustained composition from Todak will almost automatically win team fights.
At this point of the game, Todak with the 4,000 gold lead, they're going to be able to use the kill lead, the gold lead, to look for more turrets on the board. They can look for skirmishes, pickoffs all over the map, and even sieges with the Brody.
No, I mean, how long could they actually do this for? I mean, Brody, yes, he has plenty of damage right now, but let's say 5 minutes down the road, where are we going to be at? This is going to be the same position as Gear is going to get hit by the puppet on the string so far. Close to strike coming out of Momo, but here comes Chico, guys. They see him, and EVOS just back away. They're not going to take this traditional front to front just yet.
Stolen orange buff. You don't want that. And now Adamir trapped in a bad spot. ForMaze is here.
I don't think they're going to go further than this. They've already got the orange buff as well. Looks like Todak want to be splitting up the map here. Notice where Moon is so far, as he's keeping an eye on the movements of EVOS SG.
This is a time for Todak. Look what they're doing. They're actually not just tunnel visioning onto one objective. They're actually using the Lord as a distraction and getting more objectives on the board. And this is what I love to see from Todak. This is the refined version of Todak that we've seen in the Na'Vi game. Now they've improved even more, and you can see how threatening they are, how dangerous they are by playing the map like this.
Speaking of dangerous, this is the situation that we're looking for, the 50-50 on the Lord. Let's see how this team sets up, as Sayla is going to be opening up the map slowly, already getting a good chunk of Yums, but really doesn't matter. It's an Angela, both going back to their lanes.
Well, speaking of sustain, you already have the Durance onto Moon, which means that EVOS SG will not have as much healing as they want. If you're looking at their composition, they only have one anti-heal onto Gear. That's the Dominance Ice, and I'm pretty sure that will not be enough against the all-sustain comp of Todak.
Let's see if this sustains enough for Eagle going in, but Sayla already finds the one-shot onto the Angela. Hot Guide's not going to be in there. Axis Lord going inside of Todak, but Formase is looking huge. Star Power lockdown doesn't even go through. The Purify makes it out, but Momo is absolutely crushing it. Sayla falls so very quickly.
That was amazing once again by the side of Todak. The fact that they were able to play that fight perfectly after losing one member before the Lord fight even started. The fact that they targeted these members really, really well. Like I mentioned, if you split up as EVOS SG, which they did, it's going to be a travesty. It's going to be a tragedy because Todak, they want to go. They want you guys to be start to be messy in those team fights.
They have the stuns, they have the crowd control, they have chainsaws, but they're not using it, and Todak takes full advantage of that. Big play coming up from Formase, going for that backline play that really disallowed EVOS SG to follow up onto Gear.
Yep, and now all the tier 2s are going to be falling here. Formase is going to be trying to zone out JPL. Lord goes down on top side, but full map control goes over to Todak with a 7.4k lead.
Need time to let Adamir get the hits up. But it seems like Todak, they're just taking advantage of this, already forcing the Glorious pathway. No.
It's miscoordination coming out of EVOS SG. We also saw the yin-yang overturn coming out of Sayla.
No, the thing is they keep on going for these pickoffs. They keep on going for these engages. Once again, I'm going to say it. EVOS SG, they need to play it off of an engage from Todak. Their composition relies on it. Adamir with the ultimate, JPL with the peel, Gear right there to ensure that good escape with the Glorious Pathway. It just fits so well with their composition, and there you go, another fight.
Yep, they're already engaging. Oh my goodness, they already find the yin-yang overturn just coming up, and just in time with the Hot Guard. It's more than enough for Chiku to keep strong. Formase gets on out of there with the Falling Star Moon. He's being chased down one by one. EVOS finds the opportunity. They've already got one. Momo can only do so much damage, but can he find JPL in that time? Sayla makes it on out. Gear zoning out the rest of the team. Formase cannot re-engage in that fight.
Follow your win conditions. EVOS SG finally do it, and they finally get a win. Todak, they had 7,000 gold ahead of EVOS SG, but EVOS SG still were able to win that. Why? Because their composition was built for that.
They dove under the tier 3 turret, the inhibitor of EVOS SG. You know that's not going to end well for them.
Yeah.
However, they still got a kill, which is very important because they know that they have a straight-up advantage, so maybe they can push it against EVOS SG. We will see that in the replay. You're going to understand why they did it. Unfortunately, it wasn't that clean, and Momo, I think he's doing the right job trying to go for this turret, which is perfect, and then eventually might go for a turn-apart memory. It's just that this Hylos getting on top of Moon as well as the Pakiro just made it so difficult for them to recover. Then again, they still are having a big lead.
Yep, but again, the big play coming in from JPL. Holy Baptism making all the difference.
That's
so
right.
Keys to victory. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah,
Wraparound from Todak.
It's not going to be. It's not looking good here. I think Todak don't have any real position that go through. 2 of their members on top side, 3 of their members down on bot side. The 2 split. They're not going to make a decision just yet.
Again, Todak, this is why I kind of dislike the side of EVOS SG, because even if they go for an engage, it's not going to work for them. Todak, they just proactive on the map, using this aggression, using this mobility, using the damage all over to control it, and now it is just about the wave control. It's about the macro. You can see the setup all done by Todak. They're just freezing the waves, just trying to choke and suffocate EVOS SG. The thing that EVOS SG actually likes to do to other teams, they can't handle it at this point. They don't have any strong side laners that can actually walk self-sufficient, I should say, not strong, because technically they have strong side laners, but it's just like, You can't 1v on an Esmeralda, you can't 1v on these members.
No, I get where you're coming from here, and I think what Todak is trying to do with the lead that they have, they've already hit the 42k mark, which is a very significant power spike, but they need all of the EVOS SG members caught out at once and completely wipe the floor if they're going to end the game in one fell swoop.
I love this from Momo. He went in for the Rose Gold Meteor to allow himself to tank up while also still dealing the damage, because if you're looking at EVOS SG, they want to burst down heroes as soon as possible. With extra sustain from Todak, this Rose Gold Meteor allows him to just survive the initial burst and then eventually top up with the heals.
Well, let's see how this situation plays out. This Lord coming in for Todak. They're baiting anything for the side of EVOS SG. Whoever makes that first move is going to pay significant consequences, but I think Todak will get position on this. Bot side seems to be shoving in by itself, and that just means that this Lord's probably going to go down for free.
It is. It is going to be going down for free. EVOS SG, they're not in the position where they can steal. Again, they look for engage and the backline is compromised.
Gear is trying his hardest. However, Moon getting hit by the Yin Yang overturn. Formaze is looking for Sayla so far, but Gear might be falling down to the torn apart memories. And here we go. Hot God coming up with the lockdown. Perfect. Holy baptism from JPL to slow it down. Adamir having a fun day today here at the MPL, the M3 World Championships. This is brutal to watch. They can't run away. What more can I say? As EVOS actually completely washed Todak's engagement.
Beautiful positioning from the side of EVOS SG to make that fight work. Gear went to that backside instantly, and what did he do? He soaked up all the damage. Todak, they're an ability-based team. Yes, they have a lot of damage output, but all of those come from abilities. You just baited away, and this is going to be EVOS SG turning the game and almost going for it right now.
Oh, they're rushing for it. They're rushing for the end. They've already taken up all. They're looking for the crystal. And they have done it. Home ground. They get the victory against Todak from Malaysia. EVOS SG pulled through despite a Lord take from Todak.
Honestly, very messy early game. They didn't play through.